Hi everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is Happiness Paul. In today's tutorial, we'll be learning on how to cut a cut together stylish bubu dress to cut together pockets. So now I've taken my measurement, the full length. So now I'm taking my armhole measurement. I'll be using 9.5 inches for the armhole. Then my half length here, I'll be using 16 for the half length, though I won't cut it out. That's for the waist measurement. That's what I'll be using. 16. Alright, so for the hip point, I'll be using 2 points, 24 and 25. Yeah, 24 and 25. I would really like it to have a curved surface. So that's what I'll be using here. 24 and 25. Yeah. 24 and 25 still. Alright. So the full length of the dress, I used 59 for my full length. Then I added up extra allowance for folding. Alright, so now I divided my bust measurement into 4 and I've inserted what I got with just 1.5 inches allowance for ease. Then I also divided my waist measurement. Yeah, waist measurement of 39 divided by 4. Alright, so I also inserted there with the same 1.5 inches allowance. So now I want to divide my hip measurement of 43. I have to divide it into 4. Yeah. Then I also insert it there, but this time with just 1 inch allowance for seam. Okay, so now I'll be taking my sleeve measurement. I'll be using wideness of 8. Wideness of 8 from the shoulder. 8. Then I will stop right at the armhole line. Yeah. So wideness of 8. I'll stop right at the armhole line. Okay. So I'll be using neck wideness of 4 inches. Mind you, I folded my fabric into 4 because I want to get everything at the same time. Then don't forget to slant the shoulder down to the sleeve. Slant it. Don't forget to take that 1/2 inch out. Alright. Okay, so I had to increase the sleeve length. I used 9 inches instead. Alright, so now I'll make a connection now from this to the armhole since the cut together hand. The cut together hand. I'll have to make a connection right away. I don't know if you can see it. Okay, so now this is what we have. This is all what we have. Alright, so at this point now, I'll be taking the measurement of the extension of my pocket right from the hip line, from the 24 and 25. Alright, so I used length of 6.5. Length of 6.5. I used length of 6.5 from the hip point. So now I want to connect it now from my waist line all the way down to the hip line. All the way down. Depth of 6.5 from the hip point downwards. Then now I'm connecting from my waistline to the down part. So right now I'm curving it. The hip line and the waistline, I did a curve there. That's for the pockets, the cut together pockets. Okay, this method is actually very easy and it sits perfectly on the body. So in short, to give a nice curve, okay, so that it will come out fine. All right, so this is how it looks like. This is how it looks like. So right now I'll continue taking the measurements downwards. The measurement of my hip measurement, I'll take it all the way down. Together with the 1 inch seam allowance, I'll take everything downwards. Yeah, everything downwards. It's 11 and a half. Everything downwards. Sorry, it's 12 inches. So I'll have to mark everything downwards. It all depends on your measurement, how you want it. If you want it too free, that means you add up some more allowance. All right, but for this one, this is it. All right, for the down part I used 13, so I'll make a connection and blend it together. Yeah. All right, you can use a ruler or anything to draw it to connect them together. All right, this is it. So I had to make this connection so that it will be visible when cutting. I shouldn't make any mistake at all. All right, so this is what I have at this moment. So I'll make a good connection before I cut. Mind you, this is exactly where the pocket started, from under the hip measurement. I used 2 lines, 24 and 25, so it started from 25, not really 24, but the connection, you do your connection very well from 24. All right, so at this moment now, I'll start cutting it out. I'll start cutting the traced dress out. All right, please ensure to do it properly. That's why you have to draw the chalk very well so you see, to avoid making any mistake. All right, so take it slowly, or just try to be very careful. Okay. All right, so at this point you need to watch the curve, where to stop. All right, so we'll stop at this point now. Then we'll turn our scissors to the other side and take it all the way down. All right, the wideness of the pocket. The wideness of the pocket should be about 7.5 inches, 8. It all depends on how wide you want it. 7.5 inches or 8. 7 inches will also be okay. At least it will allow the hand pass in freely. Yes. All right, so right now we already have our dress out. So I told you I folded it into 4, so I'll go ahead and separate it right now, because the shoulder will definitely have a joining. Okay, so this is it, one for the front and the other for the back. This is what we have at this moment. Okay, so right now I'll be using the neck wideness of 4 inches, which I've marked. Then I'll be using the depth of 6.5 inches, wideness of 4, depth of 6.5. Then I'll make a connection. I want it to have a V shape. Any shape you like, it's okay, but I want this to have a V shape. Then I'm cutting it right out. Okay, so I'll keep that aside and all. So this one is for the back. I'll still take the same neck wideness of 4 inches. Neck wideness of 4 inches. Then the depth will be 1.5. Make my connection. I want it to be a high neck. Yes. So this is it. All right, so this moment now we'll place the two together. Remember, I marked a minus of 1/2 inch from the shoulder, so I'll have to place the two together. So I will trim out the 1/2 inch together. All right, you have to do that so it will sit perfectly, so that the 1/2 inch will not squeeze on the armhole side. All right, so this is it. I've trimmed it out and slant. So it has a combination also. I would like to use a coffee brown color to combine. All right, so I'm looking for a perfect measurement. We'll be using wideness of 5 inches, wideness of 5 inches, wideness of 5 inches, then depth of 9.5 inches, depth of 9.5 inches. I will cut it and keep it aside. All right, cut and keep it aside. Okay, so this is it. Wideness of 5 folded into 2, wideness of 5, then length of 9 inches. All right, so I'll have to make a minus here. I'll be making a minus of 2.5 inches from the edge of the fabric. 2.5. Okay, a slant minus. I'll be cutting it out right now. I'll just cut it all out, then I'll keep it aside. All right, so just have to fold another one, fold another one. Then the neck I cut, that neck 4 inches and depth of 6.5. I did not throw it away. I will still use it, so I have to place it on this point to get for the neck. All right, so the wideness I'll be using behind it right now, place it exactly. You can use the chalk to trace. No, I'll be using wideness of 3 inches, wideness of 3 inches, to take exactly the same shape again. Then at this point I'll turn to the down and get the same measurement, because I really want it to be a V shaped placing. All right, so this is it, and this is what we have. So all right, now we'll go ahead now and cut it out. Place it very well before you cut it out. Okay, so I'll go ahead and trace the patterned one out. Go ahead and trace the patterned one out. Okay, then cut out the big one. The big one. It's okay. So this is what we have right now. Okay, to confirm if it really fits in well, let me confirm. So this is it. This is perfect on it. Okay, so this is what we have, is the same. We'll just keep it aside. Then at this point we'll be using, I folded my fabric into 2. All right, so I'll be using wideness of 3 inches as same. Then I'll take all the length. I want it very long. Okay, if there's any excess, I'm definitely cutting it out. Yeah, so I folded it into 4. Sorry. Okay, this is what it is, into 4. So it came out very long, so I had to divide it into 2, each for one of the sleeve. All right, so this is what we have. Okay, so we'll go ahead and get a lining for all our dresses. We'll go ahead and get the lining. We've gotten our lining right now, so I will go ahead and top stitch, run a thread on top of my main fabric and the lining, so that it will be very easy for me to sew at the same time. I won't be dragging the fabric and at the same time dragging the lining. So you just have to top stitch it so that it will be quite easy. And this part is the front part of the fabric. It's not the wrong side, it's the right side. Okay, I just place the lining under, because I'll be using another stuff to cover the neckline. Okay, so this is it. All right. So I've placed the neck pattern on it. So ensure you sew slowly, or just do it carefully, okay? ensure to follow the shape of the neck since it's for the neck. All right, we're done. Okay, don't forget to notch the dress. Don't forget to notch and top stitch. It will come out great when you do that. It will come out neat as well. Okay, so this is what we have. And when sewing for the neck, I had to place my plain on top of the lining itself because I will have to flip it to the front when I'm done sewing. So right now I'm top stitching, so it will sit perfectly on the body. Alright, when you get to that point, don't forget to turn the dress over to the other side in order to give us the perfect shape we are looking for. If not, it might just end up giving us another thing entirely. Okay, so this moment now we'll turn it to the other side. This is how it is sitting already without ironing, but definitely we'll iron it. All right, so this is what it is like. So now we'll go ahead and place this. Remember the 9 inches, the 9.5 inches length and the 5 inches folded into two fabric that we got, that we slanted it down. It's time to place it. So I used iron to secure the side I want to sew. I've ironed it already and I sprinkled water on it. That's why it has a this wet look. I don't want my iron to overheat and probably burn it off. Alright, so this is it. Just ensure to sew very neat at the tip, since remember your stitches will be so visible that people can see. So you just ensure to do it well. Okay, sew it as neat as anything. Alright, so at this moment we'll be introducing our fringe to it. I'll be folding the fringe into two because I want it to be really full. I wouldn't want it to be scanty. If I want it scanty, I'll just put it as one. I won't fold it into two. Okay, so I'll have to insert it very well. Make sure you do it well, please. Okay, so I'll use a biro now to support it right inside. You can use anything to do it. This is what I can get in my reach now. Alright, so I'll just have to sew at the tip. It has to be neat, please. Alright, after sewing, you can choose to either stone the plain or you leave it that way. Although I left mine that way, but you can choose to style yours more. Okay, so we'll turn to the other side. And let me just sew one more. Turn to the other side and give the same nice neat stitches. Okay, that's all for this part. Okay, so now we'll go ahead and iron the next, pin up the neckline for ironing. I'll go ahead and pin it up the way I want to sew it and get it ready for ironing, because I would like to really use the iron to secure it first before sewing. I don't know how you do yours, but I feel this is better and easier. Okay, So after pinning up, I will just go and iron it briefly. Okay, right now I've ironed it. So I can go ahead and top stitch at the tip. Go ahead and top stitch the tip of the plain. But you still need to be very careful. Okay. Alright, so don't forget to always turn to the other side. It's actually very important to make your work give you the shape which you want as well. Alright, and after stitching, we'll still go ahead to iron. We'll not say we've ironed it and we'll just stop right there. No, we'll still do the ironing. Okay, this is what we have right now for the back, for the front. So if there's any excess, we'll go ahead and trim it out. Go ahead and trim any excess that comes out of it. Okay, this is it for the front. All right. Right, this part now is for the back. I will use my lining right now to turn the neckline of the back. I'm not leaving it rough like the front. We'll just turn it all up, and that's it. All right, we are done. Don't also forget to give it a nice notching, okay? Notch the neckline. It's so important you notch it. So everything will sit perfectly. Everything will sit fine. Okay. Alright, so I've notched it at this moment. So I will still go ahead to top stitch, but this time on the lining. I will top stitch on the lining. Alright. So this is it for the back neck. This is it for the back neck. Yeah. You can choose to make this in any fabric. It will still come out well. But the reason why we lined was because we want it lined. Yes. Alright, so right now I'll go ahead and join the shoulders to the sleeve for the front and the back. I've placed it already. So go ahead and join it. Join them together. Alright. I used like an half an inch to do this joining. Okay, so this is the joining we did. Alright, I will join the other side of the sleeve as well. Go ahead and join it all up. Join it. Make sure it's you placed it well. Make sure it's okay. Alright, so go ahead and do it. It all depends on the allowance you added. Some use 1 inch to do their joining, is still okay, but this is ½ inch for the shoulder to the sleeve joining. Remember, the sleeve is a cut together sleeve and a cut together pocket. All right, so this is it. Okay, so we've joined it. We've joined it. So right now, I'll go ahead to add our plain. I've also ironed it as well, so it will sleep, it will just relax. We'll go ahead and add our plain to the sleeves. Go ahead and add our plain to the sleeves. All right. Trim any excess lining if there is any at all. Okay, so this is it. All right. Okay, so I placed it at the right side of my fabric because the joining will be under after I'm done joining. So this is it. I will still use the same 1/2 inch to do my joining. I'll use the same 1/2 inch to do my joining. All right, so this is what it looks like. Okay, this is it. All right, if there's any excess still, we'll still have to take it out. Okay, so this is the excess and I'm trimming it out right now. Okay, so this is it. This is how it looks like. So I'll go ahead and join for the other sleeve, okay? Okay, so this is it. All right, we're done joining now. I have to still take off any excess. So right now I want to join, do the shaping. Mind you, the shaping should start from the hand, the sleeve. All right, so I the round sleeve is 16, which divided into 2 is 8. So I measured it and I used the rest to do the shaping. Okay, so ensure you arrange the fabric well while you shape. So I used 1 inch to run my shaping. Yes, I added 1.5. I left the 1/2 inch for ease. I left the 1/2 inch for ease. So at this point, I will stop right here for my pocket, turn the other way, and follow the shape exactly the way the shape is. That's how I'll do exactly the way the shape of the pocket is. I'll just follow it that way. Okay. So this is it. Ensure you have the 4 of it together, the lining, the 2 lining and the 2 fabric. All right, so this is it. So ensure you sew well, ensure you do it right well. Do it well. Take the curve. If it has a curve, follow the curve. All right. So right now I'm following the curve and I'm also arranging the fabric at the same time. Okay, so remember that this point, at this point, it has a sharp curve, so ensure you try to do it well. So I'll turn my dress the other way and I will shape it all the way down. Right, I'm trying to arrange the fabric and all, so I'll shape it all the way down. I'll take it all the way down right now. All right, so this is it. All right, when sewing this, try as much as you can to do it well, okay? Because the results is actually nice. You will like it, and the pocket sits perfectly on the body. It doesn't have any funny shape and all. It sits perfectly fine on the body, okay? So at this point, I'll leaving a line under, like a slit line under. So this is for the other sleeve. This is for the other sleeve. I'll be making the same shaping, the same everything, just the way I did for the other side. I'll do it for this side as well. Alright, at this point I will still have to take the shape of the pockets, the shape of everything, the way it is. After the sewing, don't forget to give this dress a very nice ironing. Press it so well so everything will relax and sit perfectly. Alright, so this is it. Alright, ensure you follow the curve well. Ensure you do it well, okay? Yeah. Alright, so once you get to that curve, ensure you do it well as well. Okay. So I will take this all the way down, but not really down. I'll be leaving the slits on both sides for easy movement. Alright, I'll be leaving the slits. You can use anything you like. You can use a length of 11, 10. You can use length of 13, anything at all. Okay, so at this one I'll be using length of 10.5. Mind you, it's the same on both sides. Alright, afterwards I'll fold up and I'll sew. If you find this video very interesting, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe to my channel. So at this moment I've notched the curve on my pocket line, all the curves on the both pocket line. You really need to notch it because it has to sit, it has to relax, okay? If not, it might not really relax. Okay, this is Happiness Paul. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, turn on your notification button whenever I post a new video so you get the notification and follow up. Thanks for watching. Bye.